I want to thank you guys for coming out. Thank you for the invitation. Most of you folks know me, but let me just tell you a little bit about my background for those of you that don't. I grew up in New York City. Fortunately, John and I didn't grow up at the same time, or we might have met each other, because I was a street kid in the Bronx. The best thing I ever did in my life when I got of age of 17 was to enlist in the military, and it literally changed my life. But it's interesting because, well, I was the son of a single parent, which wasn't acceptable back when I was a youngster. It was very rare, actually. There were only 2 of us in my classroom of 30 in New York City at that time. And my mother and I lived with my grandparents. We were poor. People talk about being poor. I didn't know I was poor. I got like this because we ate a lot of bread, a lot of potatoes, a lot of rice, and pretty much that was it. I didn't sleep in a bed till I was about 11 and 12 years old because we were in a 1-bedroom ground floor apartment in the Bronx with my grandparents. They put me to sleep on the foot of their bed, and I wasn't quite the size I am now. They carry me in and put in a wing chair, so my posture should really be weird because I don't think I slept. I think around 11 and a half to 12, they got a little folding bed for me. My mother slept on the couch. We didn't have much. I never wondered why I got blisters on my shoes because my sneakers were my cousin's. He was a little skinnier and taller than I was. And the pants were always tight and they stepped on the bottoms. But I got used to it and sort of kind of figured it out. But we had our family and we had our faith. And the one thing that I remember growing up, which was important to me, never wanted to make money, never wanted to get a big job, never even thought of ever going beyond getting out of high school, was how blessed we are to be here in these great United States of America. My friends at the Legion tell me I say that all the time, and it's not so much in my vocal cord, it's in my heart and my bloodstream, because I truly believe. And the thing I was told that's important is that we have to give back. And part of my job, as I would grow up and get older, was to make this place better for the next folks coming down the road. And that's what I've tried to do with my life. Dedicate my life using the ethic that I got thanks to Uncle Sam of working as hard as I possibly can to serve the people of the community to make this place better for our kids and our grandkids. As far as the election is concerned, we collected over 2,000 signatures to get my name on the ballot. There's a little difference in the candidates that are running this time. We shook a lot of hands. My opponent wrote a check to get her name on the ballot. I don't believe you can buy an election. Now, some people say that. My opponent told me when we met before the election, she suggested I not run. She told me she'd collect over $300,000, and she has. I think she set a record. And you were in my office, and you, excuse me, I didn't interrupt you. Well, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because you said a whole bunch of things that maybe we should talk about as we get along. We both promised each other to run a clean campaign. I've always run a clean campaign, but I didn't get involved and have my paid consultant set up PACs so I could hide behind them, bury money there, and send out negative comments about my opponent. I'll never do that to you. We promised each other, and I'll keep my promise to you about running a clean campaign, the same way I kept my promise to the people of Charlotte County to get up here, work my best, and do the job every single day. don't have checks in my campaign going to a political of $15,000 from a couple hundred miles away, going to a political action committee that's chaired by your consultant to feed money into the negative things that you guys see coming in the mail. I won't do that.
Here, here, yes.
That's not the kind of thing we promised each other to do.
Go to campaigns.
I keep my word. And I've worked hard to keep my word to the people of Charlotte County because that's what elected office is all about. You said that you will cut the county budget. And that's good. It's easy for a candidate to make promises. Talking about 3 chickens in a pot or whatever promise you want to make if you're running for an office. I made one promise to the people in Charlotte County, and I've kept that promise. I promised to be accessible. I promised to be there. I promised to be open. I promised to meet with everyone and to do the job to the best of my ability using my academic background, which would surprise my high school teachers, getting a couple of graduate degrees and a part of a doctorate, and my incredible experiential background to serve the people of Charlotte County. And by the way, I'm a little concerned about math. You know, you talk about doing stuff on the county budget. So for the record, and this is in your material, so I'll help you out. I served in elected office in Rhode Island, which was real tough getting elected in Rhode Island as a Republican, I'll tell you that right now. I served for 10 years in elected office in Rhode Island, not the figure that you put in your campaign literature. And then I took a break for a number of years. My mom was in Sarasota. I wanted to be near her because my dad had been living with me and passed away. I came down here. I had no thought ever of running for office again. I got involved in the community. I volunteered at the Homeless Coalition. I volunteered at the YMCA. I was very active in my church, in the men's prayer group. I got involved in Habitat and some other things in the community. And people found out, because I got involved with the Republican Executive Committee over 20 years ago, and I'm sort of proud to say I don't just show up during election season. I don't think I've missed 2 meetings in the past 20 years, because I keep my promise to serve the people like I did on the commission. I'm the only commissioner, not only in the history of Charlotte County, I've never missed a meeting. I've never missed a vote.
Whereas Kim Amontree
I took
was
a check your
removed
record, you missed like
from
1
the
out of 7.
LEC
And also a
because
big
she
budget
didn't show
meeting.
up.
You know, we're here to serve the people. That's what it's about. That's what I dedicated myself to, because I think it's very, very important that we do that. You say that you make a promise, you're gonna reduce the county budget. Well, the school budget almost doubled since you've been there. You know, I'll give you a fact, this isn't a promise. At last year's budget hearing, I made a motion to take $10 million out of the county budget. And the people on the commission, I couldn't get a second from my 4 colleagues. They're the ones that you should talk to about what's happened with the county budget, because I voted against it. I felt that the people in Charlotte County needed a break. We really needed a break. I voted against the increase in the water bill. I'm not going to make you promises just because they sound good. I'm doing the job. I'm doing the job. I'm there every day. I treat this as a full-time job. And maybe I have a silly long work day because I'm usually up around 4 in the morning. I keep this beautiful body by going to the YMCA every day. I work out a little bit and drink coffee again with some of my friends there, but I do get there every day. And my day sometimes doesn't end till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Because we got lots of stuff to read through. You'll find out if you ever got on the board. Tons of stuff to read through, and it's always a challenge because it's a big job. I think in a lot of ways that I've been blessed by the opportunity to serve you. You know, and I look around and I've lived, people talk to me about this, might as well bring it out. I've lived in the same place in Charlotte County, in the same district for 22 years. I didn't do what we once had someone do when Hillary wanted to become a United States Senator and said she lived in New York so she could run for the Senate.
Yeah, I remember
I
that.
know where I live. You're still not sure. You're gonna leave the school board, you said you're gonna move. I hope your husband's happy in the small place because you're in a beautiful home now because we went by it. You know, but those things, I think it's important.
So arrogant.
Did you say a couple
So
minutes left?
freaking arrogant.
1 minute. Those of you know that I have a reputation for not being succinct, and you know, I'll admit to that. But you know, it's sort of interesting. We had someone try and buy an election against President Trump, and it didn't work for Kamala. And I'm not sure I don't think it's gonna work for my opponent either.
Yeah.
The promise that I make, that I give to you, is to continue to do what I have done since I've been on the board. To be there to represent you, the citizens of Charlotte County, to the best of my ability. I have never ever refused to meet with anyone, whether they agree with my ideas or not agree with my ideas. I meet with everyone. I
And
answer every phone
questions.
call. I go to most places that I'm invited, particularly when they feed me, but I try and do this job 100% of the time. That's what I've done. God bless you all. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Commissioner Stephen R. Now, before we wrap up here, a couple things real quick. We're going to do a breakout session,
I know.
and we're going to have each candidate